Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Riva TV. Almost at that 100K. I really love that you guys are supporting me. I really do appreciate it. But let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Before I wash my face, I want to tell you guys what my husband did to me today. So let me tell you, before you get married, marriage is not for the weak. I felt bad for my husband, who I will not be divorcing him.
Ah, sisterhood.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another episode of Sometimes Women Put Too Much of Their Business on TikTok.
All the time.
Okay, so this is an example of a woman who went on TikTok and decided to tell, a snippet of her personal business with her husband, and instantly regretted it because of all the backlash that her husband and she received based off of the story that she told. So
This is why I don't really talk about my relationship too much. I'll praise my girlfriend here and there, and I may say like a stupid little thing. Even some stupid little things. I think I said she didn't like me watching her cook, and it was I think it was a joke though. The guy was like, "Red flag, she doesn't want you to watch her to cook." It's like, sometimes the internet's like that though. I believe that gentleman was just joking around and just having a good time. But for women, it's not like that. For women, if you tell them certain things, they will badger the shit out of your man.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to pause and play and give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on this entire situation.
Before I wash my face, I want to tell you guys what my husband did to me today. So let me tell you, before you get married, marriage is not for the weak. No, 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 no. Because let me tell you, I want to rip my husband's head off right now. We have had a long week, the both of us. It's just been a long week, whatever. It is what it is. He tells me, "Babe, let's order the kids a pizza. We'll go get dinner." And I'm like, okay, make reservations. The reservations that I found were for really late. And he's like, "It's okay, you know what? Let's go. You can have a drink. You can let loose. Let's just get out of the house."
So the man sounds like he's just trying to relax you and cool you down from your rough week so far.
Have a good time. And I'm like, it's a little late, but okay. So you know what? I was like, I'm not going to wear a hoodie to dinner. I'm not going to look all grenuda. I'm not going to look like Miss Trunchbull tonight. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to let my hair down. I'm going to put some heels on. I did the most, okay? The most.
Okay.
We're getting ready to leave, and one of my kids starts some. That put my husband in a mood. That put me in a mood. We're leaving. Then my freaking husband gets a phone call from his job. That put him in another mood. Then we're actually it was the casino. We're going into the casino, and there's a ton of people, and we're discussing one of our kids. And he's just like irritated. And all of a sudden he's like, "I don't want to talk about this." And I'm like, okay, cool. We don't have to talk about it. Let's not talk about it. And then we continue to walk, and there's all the people and all the machines making all the noises, which is just probably pissing him off even more because he hates the public. And then all of a sudden he says, "You know what? I don't want to be here. I want to go home." And we left. We get in the car, and I'm thinking, because the plan was to go to the casino for a little bit and then go to dinner. And I'm thinking, this motherfucker still better go to this restaurant. We get in the car, and I'm like, "Are we going home?" And he says, "Yep, we're going home." And that's it. I didn't fight because I wasn't gonna make the situation worse. He was already in a bad mood. I already know what he's going through, so there was no point in me to just instigate and make it worse. But let me tell you, I haven't ate all day, and I did all this. So now I'm just gonna wash my face with my wonderful drunk elephant stuff, and I'm gonna drink some water. Mind you, there's pizza, so I'm not starving, but I don't want pizza. Nope, I don't want pizza. I wanted North Italia. That's where we were gonna go.
All right, so I want to
I can see that as being somewhat of just like a rant. It's a small rant. She didn't really say too many bad things about her husband in a sense, but you putting it on the internet, people interpret it any way, shape, form they want, right? I saw that as, shit happens, like the night was, the week's been bad, the night was going bad. Yeah, let's just go back home and stay in. That's how I saw it, but obviously it's gonna be different from other people.
address a couple things from that first video, right? first thing I want to address is that in me being solution based, okay, in me holding women accountable, so that women can get positive results within their relationships. Let me just talk about that situation that happened between them, right? They were supposed to go out. Something happened. It ticked both of them off with the kids. Then he got a call from his job, made it worse. It was just like one thing led to another. You know what an understanding person would say? An understanding person would say, you know what, babe? This is a lot going on. I know we tried our best, but you know what? We can do it for another night when we don't got all this stuff going on. It's cool. I'm calm, collected. A lot of times when women,
I felt like she was like that until she got home and then made the TikTok.
Blast their husbands on social media or overreact over situations, even if they don't tell nobody about it, but just overreact, it's because women are only looking at self.
Yes.
They're only looking at how they feel, what they're going through at that time, and they're not putting themselves in the other person's shoes. It has nothing to do, marriage is not for the weak, because basically what she's saying to a lot of other women is you're often going to be disappointed because, this is what you got to deal with, disappointment, because when something don't go his way, this was going to happen with you. That wasn't the lesson that I saw.
Right.
The whole point of the matter is you just have to understand what he's going through and support him through that situation. Not going to dinner this one time is not a big deal.
I mean, the casino and dinner, yeah, it's a little lavish. You don't have to do it. But I can understand why you're a little sad that you didn't get to go to dinner because you were looking forward to it. But the man got a call. All those things happened. Maybe work called him about money. That's why he probably didn't want to spend money at the casino. Just my interpretation.
Even if you don't want to eat pizza, you could have ordered what you want from the restaurant.
Yeah.
And still had your meal and just been comfortable in the house doing whatever it is that you want to do. But going on social media and airing your husband out when you already know he was having a tough time and he was going through things, in my opinion, is extremely selfish. Extremely selfish.
That's the modern woman, right, Riva? Me covering your videos enough to say that's most of modern women. You are a rare example of a woman that isn't like that.
Because, I don't see husbands on social media doing this behavior. I don't see them airing out every single negative, annoying, nagging thing that their wives do on social media for other people to join in on the conversation.
Oh, of course, I have nagging things that my girlfriend does or just little annoyances, but they're nothing compared to how much I actually care for her and like her and everything. Why would I want to voice those out to the public so you guys can badger her for her little quirks or whatever it is? That's where I'm always so worried about it. Every time I bring her up, I'm always so worried that you guys are gonna start, like, there's bad people out there that are gonna want to harm her or like at least find her to badger her about my channel or whatever it is, because she has nothing to do with my channel really. She just lives her life, and that's why I wanted to protect her from all of the internet, because the internet can be ruthless, especially to your spouses.
Why? Because men are protectors.
That we are.
What a lot of women don't talk about is that when you get married, you are supposed to be his protector as well.
True.
A lot of women are not doing that. They have one foot in the marriage and one foot out. That's why you have so many women who are married and who are talking bad about their husbands, talking bad about men online, talking bad, with this feminist perspective, but they still married and have a husband. It's distasteful. So then after, all the heat that she got, she decided to go ahead and break down more things in the situation because she thought that people were just going to come inside with her, and she got all kind of different conversations happening. People attacking the husband, attacking her. So we're going to get into that video.
Okay, so thank you to the comments similar to this one, because they were kind of lifting my spirits. I felt bad for my husband. I don't know if I read like every single message at one.
Did you really feel bad for your husband? You came on the internet to pretty much say that he was a bad husband.
At one point I was like, dude, I need to just delete this post. This is getting crazy. But I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to address a couple things. Number one, I was never trying to normalize what he did the other night. What he did was super messed up, and I think that we as women can all agree that was uncalled for. He did
Again, did not put yourself in the man's shoes whatsoever. You think it was uncalled for. He just called the date off because there were some things going on.
not work through his emotions. His emotions definitely got the best of him, and I had to pay the price, and that pissed me off. Obviously, that's why I made the whole rant on TikTok. What I was trying to say in that video is that marriage was hard. He sucked the other night. In that moment, he was a piece of caca. He pissed me off.
Really? Just because of that, he was a piece of shit? That's what you're saying? Because he canceled the date because a lot of things were happening that night?
Again, she's siding with the women. Oh, well, I wasn't trying to defend what he did. What he did was, he was horrible the other night. He was a tough. How is it that you're married to this man and you still don't get the picture that you painted? Like, how is it that you're saying, oh, I'm not trying to normalize this. You should normalize this conversation. You should normalize the fact that women have to understand that even in a marriage, that everything does not revolve around you and what's going to make you feel good in the moment.
There's called sacrifices for both people.
You have to bend and also make your partner be able to feel good. Make your partner feel okay. She was mainly mad because she put on all this makeup and stuff. He never even asked her to do all of that.
Mm-hmm. She wanted to do it
You're
herself.
holding something against his man that he didn't even ask of you.
But it's okay. No one was hurt. We weren't on the way to like a family dinner. It wasn't a holiday. It wasn't a graduation. It was just date night. Did it suck that I got ready and put my makeup on? It did, and my feelings were hurt. But I'm okay. And no, I will not be divorcing him over saying I don't want to fucking be here. Sometimes I don't want to be places either, and I stay home and I don't go with him when he wants me to. It sucks.
So it's okay when you do it, but it's a problem and it shouldn't be normalized when he does it.
That we made it that far and we actually were in the casino, but I'm gonna choose to forgive him.
If it's something that you're not gonna divorce your husband on social media, don't bring it. If you feel like you have an issue that the two of you can work out, you don't need to call your mom, call your friends, call your homegirls, and you definitely don't need to put it on TikTok for other people to chime in and give their opinions. If you're saying how much marriage sucks, what are you expecting these people to say besides you need to divorce him?
Yep.
Like, what should their opinions be? Like, at that point, what are you wanting them to say? Are you wanting them to say, oh, girl, like, of course, you're putting it out there for people's opinions, and their opinions are going to be divorce him, and now you think that they're too extreme and you don't like it?
And let the good outweigh the bad, because that was the first time he's ever done something like that. Hopefully it's the last, but let me tell you, the good outweighs the bad, and that is what marriage is. Not everybody.
But you're the one that said marriage is so difficult.
Everybody is going to have the same hard. For the women who are like, oh my God, my husband would never. Okay, so maybe some of the things that your husband does that piss you off or that trigger you or that hurt your feelings, my husband doesn't do. And that's marriage. It's just a, give and take. And some days you rock it, and some days you guys are just doing great. And then there's days where you look at your husband and you're like, I kind of want to punch you in your face right now.
The thing is that what she's saying is not inherently wrong. Yeah, yes, you're going to have ebbs and flows in relationships, and you have to learn how to bend and move with them. But the issue is that if you know that the good outweighs the bad, what was the purpose of you blasting this man on social media? What was the purpose of that? That's what a lot of women need to think of in the moment when things are not going your way. In the moment is when you're supposed to be saying, you know what? This is a good man. He going through something right now. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not even going to take on his energy. He's mad. I'm not going to now be mad because he's mad and make matters worse. No, you know what? I'm going to be the calm. Let me find a way that I can do something nice for him. He's upset we didn't have dinner go the right way. All right, cool. Maybe I'm going to order my food that I wanted to eat. And you know what? I know he likes his dessert. I'm going to go ahead and order that for him. Because at the end of the day, I know that he really had a tough moment and a tough day. And he's had a lot of emotional, carrying to do throughout this situation. So you know what? I'm going to hold it down for you.
I wish.
No. You're going to go on social media and blast him. And now you're trying to defend all the actions that you took within that time.
Yep.
Prevention is better than cure. You would never have to come back and reiterate if you thought about all these things before.
But maybe that's not everybody. Maybe that's just me. Some of us have perfect husbands. I guess some of you guys do. I don't have that. Over here on my side of the street, we have a marriage where, like I said, some days are really easy and some days are hard. And that's that. But overall, he is a great dude. And I don't need to explain that.
And yet you came on the internet to trash him in front of I don't know how many people, probably millions.
Anybody, especially not TikTok. But yeah, no one's trying to normalize that behavior. That was uncalled for. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is like all the comments about like, girl, you should have stayed and ate or Ubered. You are so right. And honestly, on a normal day, that would have been my reaction. But it was so cold and I was so tired. Honestly, that night, you know what? Low key, maybe that was God.
I was just gonna say that. I didn't even know she was. I didn't watch this whole video. I just saw a clip and then the reaction. I just brought it. But I was just gonna say that a lot of women go against the grain with their husbands and don't realize that everything is working out exactly how it's supposed to. Maybe you guys weren't meant to go out to dinner that night. Maybe you guys were not meant to be at that restaurant. Maybe you guys were meant to be home with the kids. Maybe you guys were. You don't know what kind of protection that was for you. And a lot of women underestimate the fact of the space of male leadership. Genuinely, a lot of women underestimate the fact that whenever your man makes a certain decision, a lot of women, they're driving in the car, they're telling him make a right, make a right, make a right, and he makes a left. They underestimate the fact that left, you don't know what that saved you from. And that's just how I genuinely feel. And a lot of times women are complaining about things that are so small and so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Just like this situation, right? And, it's crazy because I think that she should have, if she was going to have a conversation, I think that she should have cooled down, calmed down, and then give some tools and tips on how to navigate marriage if that's what she cared about doing.
Yeah.
Instead of venting negatively about this man, blasting him, then people giving him more negativity on top of what he was already going through that during that night when he was already going through something. A lot of these people are not sitting here and going to give you positive results. Just like this person telling her, oh, what you should have did was go to the restaurant yourself or stay there and then Uber home.
Like, you're a couple, you're married. You're not on a date, like getting to know each other.
For what? He needed you. Y'all were both going through something. He wasn't feeling a certain type of way. It's not a big deal. It's not that serious.
It's just dinner.
That's how I know that a lot of these people are in relationships but are separated. They're two different units instead of one unit. One band, one sound. He leaving, you leaving. He going home, you going home. Night's over for him, night's over for you.
Really keeping us home because we just really did not belong out. We were so drained and tired because life.
And yet you came on and bitched and moaned about it, even though you somewhat agree with his decision.
And for us to just end up back home safely and no foul, or however you say it, no harm done, whatever I'm trying to say. Maybe that was God just really protecting us from something bigger that we had no idea was out there.
And that's what she should have thought about in the moment.
Correct.
That's what she thought about in the car on the way home. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? This night really not working out. You know what? We should just call it a day. I know I got dressed up. I know I put my makeup on, but you know what? I don't know. If it ain't working, if it ain't flowing, then I'm just going to go. Let's just go with it. I'm not going to fight against it. I'm not going to try to cause a fight. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to go on social media and bash you. You know what? I'm going to just keep it pushing.
If only.
It was unfortunate, it sucked, but it is what it is, and that's what I was trying to say in my post. Marriage is hard. You got to choose your bad that you're going to be okay with. And yeah, that bad was okay. I don't need to stick up for myself. In that moment, I didn't. There was no point for me to blow things up bigger and instigate a fight and piss him off when I already knew the dude was tired. He had just got home from work. We were both burned out. Like, what would that be of me? You know what I mean? To just poke him when he's already just there.
All this logic.
All of a sudden.
All this logic, maybe it was God. And you know what? Why would I even, make him feel worse about this situation? All this logic after the fact.
After you already made him feel bad.
After the fact. After you already put him out there. After you done told this man's business. And I'm sure there's people that you guys know personally who are going to have certain feelings about this situation that saw your video.
Yep.
For what?
That's just, honestly, that to me is childish. And divorcing him over having a moment is childish too. I do have boundaries and I do know when to draw the line. And luckily for me, he hasn't made me have to do that. And hopefully he never does. But yeah. Anyways, also, I just want to let you guys know, those of you with the perfect husbands, I am so happy for you. I'm going to continue to pray for you. Keep me in your prayers as well. We aspire to be like you someday. But like I said, we keep it real over here.
There's no such thing as a perfect husband. There's no such thing as a perfect wife.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. There's no such thing as a perfect household. There's no such thing as perfect children. Perfection does not exist, right? But what does exist is a sense of normalcy, where some people might have more calm than you have calm, right? And obviously, if there's some people who are in toxic situations and there's other people who are in a peaceful situation, peaceful seems perfect compared to the toxicity. However, one thing that I know for sure is that one key in marriage is you have to be able to work together as a team against the problem instead of against each other. For sure. Like, you going on social media and blasting him is not you working as a team.
Nope.
That's not you having his back. That's not you protecting him. That's not you covering your husband. That's not. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It's not doing that. And,
even like my little shorts. I have the short bits that I do on YouTube that are like grind my gears. Those aren't even things that I have gripes with my own girlfriend. Those are just funny things I can think of that most men have issues with their girls. That's why I kind of use that shorts platform to kind of just vent those things out. But I actually don't have any of those gripes with my girl. I think some people actually think that I'm saying it because I'm saying it about my girlfriend, because I've seen some comments say, "Oh, you should just leave her then." I'm like, no, these aren't even issues. They're just funny issues that I see on the internet and I've anecdotally all around that I know are somewhat funny.
And ironically, if a man did this and it was the other way around, women would be, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this. Why are you doing that? Oh, obviously she's tired. I'm sure she's taking care of your kids. Oh, she's obviously had a rough day." Like, women would not be understanding to that situation.
No.
But because it's a man who's in the situation, they have all the understanding in the world for this woman. And, oh my God, poor woman, is she okay? Oh, it must be so toxic. She should divorce him. She should leave him. You're always going to have ebbs and flows in a relationship. And one thing I'm glad about is that I saw this video on my page so that I can bring more context to the conversation. That's one thing I'm happy about.
No.
Because
this is a wonderful topic, wonderful conversations. Shout outs to you, Riva.
I think that women need to understand a different perspective. Her tagging it as...
I wish more women would watch channels like Riva. Obviously, they're not going to watch my channel or our men's channel, because we don't really speak to women like that. But at least she has that soft tone that where women will listen, that tone policing. And she's not badgering them. She's literally giving genuine advice. So if more women would just tune into her channel and like Lady J's channel and things like that, I think a lot more women would understand men.
As, oh, marriage is so hard and it's so, marriage is not for the weak. If strength is being selfless, then absolutely. Selflessness, somebody who's putting others before themselves, somebody who's thinking of another person's feelings, if you're talking about that as strength, then cool. But making it seem like, oh, it's not for the weak because you going through all these things and it's so hard because you wanted to go to dinner and you didn't get to, and he had attitude and you mad and you want to punch him. Different conversation. You're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to be in that giddy stage, but you have to understand that going through these things and this navigation, sometimes the protection or you not going to dinner was just for you to know how to navigate this situation better. It's the truth. Knowing how to address your conflict, knowing how to speak to your man when you're upset. You know, he's going through something. You can rub my, I'm sorry you're going through this, babe. I'm sorry that you're not having the best moment or the best day. I'm sorry that you're feeling like this. What can I do to assist you better? What can I get for you? What can I buy for you? You want me to buy you some dessert? You want me to do something for you? I could do something for you. I know you just had it up to here. I get it. How can I support you?
This thought process that you're kind of putting out there, Riva, I don't really know very many women that do this outside of my family. All right? Like, just women that I've met that were never dated or anything, just friendship here and there or just acquaintances. I hear them talk about their boyfriends and the things that they want to do and things like that. Never heard this ever.
You know, babe, I'm a little disappointed because I did want to go out to dinner, and even though I understand we went through these things, I was willing to look over it, just because I still wanted to have this special night with you. I understand that you're not there, but can we reschedule for a different day? He would be like,
That actually even happens with my girlfriend. Sometimes I get busy and I get tired, and I go to bed pretty early, and I'll plan something, and something happens that day. I'm like, you know what, babe? Can we just not do this? Because I just want to go home and get retired. And she's like, oh, it's okay, babe. I'm like, can we schedule for next week? And I'm like, you got it. Next week it is. And I'm perfectly happy to do it.
sure. You know, as a matter of fact, maybe we should make a U-turn.
Yeah, exactly.
But you over there, arms fold, like, ugh, I can't be bothered.
Exactly.
It's the navigation, how you navigate. We'll say how you can keep the longevity and the peace between each other in the relationship. I'd like to know what you guys think about this.
This is why you don't want a woman that is chronically on the internet, chronically on TikTok, chronically on things. They just love putting out everything. All their drama, all of your drama, everything that's happening. It doesn't matter what it is, you're going to put it out there. Avoid these women at almost all costs, because they're going to put all of your life for everyone to see. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time.